Mark Foundation conducted a ministerial panel during the 5th edition of the Mark Africa Asia Luminary in Dakar, Senegal, chaired by Dr. Rasha Kelledge, CEO of Mark Foundation, Ministers of Health from Senegal, Uganda, Sierra Leone, the Gambia, Central African Republic, Botswana, Namibia, Chad and Niger, and discuss the strategy to improve access and build healthcare capacity in partnership with Mark Foundation in their countries.
We'll have to start now and welcome all the honorable ministers of health of different countries in Africa, and we would like to discuss with them and to exchange experience and information about building cancer care capacity and fertility care capacity in Africa and in their countries. Of course, as you know from yesterday, there is some countries we started very early, since 2012, and the results already the impact is huge in these countries. And here I would like to invite to speak with Honorable Minister Sarah Obindi, Minister of State of Health of Uganda, because this is the first country Merck Foundation entered, or Merck, with our programs for building capacity. It was in 2012. So I would like Minister Sarah to share with them and with us your experience and how you think that training oncologists and fertility specialists can make a big difference. You know that many people are focusing on donation or infrastructure, but of course the lack of skills and professional capacity is a huge challenge in Africa. So can you please enlighten us about this?
Thank you very much, Dr. Rasha Kelledge. First of all, I bring you greetings from Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Thank you very much, Dr. Rasha. I want to first of all congratulate Mark for attaining this 350th year of existence. That is not a mean achievement. Nobody is even 100 years amongst us here. So attaining 350 years and the company is still growing strong, it's not an easy thing. So secondly, allow me also to congratulate Dr. Rasha Kelledge for this 1 year's existence of the Mark Foundation. I'm proud to have been part and parcel of this journey and saw the birth of this corporate social responsibility arm of Mark Germany. Of course, Dr. Rasha came to Uganda. At that time, I had just been appointed, I think, the Minister of Health in the year 2012, and she started off with a program on creating awareness on diabetes and later cancer and the other non-communicable diseases. As you all know, countries in Africa have been focusing more on the communicable diseases, focusing more on malaria, TB, and HIV and AIDS. Not much focus has been on the non-communicable diseases. And I want to really appreciate Mark because we started our awareness campaigns on the non-communicable diseases as a country around that time, realizing that there were more and more cases of people dying in the countryside of cancer, and unfortunately, some of them even thought that this was as a result of witchcraft. So the awareness campaign that we did with Mark and Ministry of Health has enabled us to actually demystify the myth that most of the people had around this cancer. So, ladies and gentlemen, Uganda, just like most of other African countries, has been grappling with specialists, especially the oncologists, the cardiologists, to deal with these non-communicable diseases. With support from Mark, they have been helping us to train more of these oncologists. And of course, we are happy that as a country, much as we have not been able to actually decentralize cancer care services, at least we've had the Uganda Cancer Institute existing and providing cancer care to the population. But of course, the challenge that we have had as a country is that most of the people that present to this cancer institute present when the cancer is already in advanced stages, close to 80% actually as we speak. But of course, with time, we plan to decentralize cancer care, and the Uganda Cancer Institute has been chosen as a center of excellence for the treatment, training, and of course, research of cancer within the East African community. So Mark has supported us and is continuing to support us to increase the number of oncologists. We have some already completed their training, some are already in training, and some more are to be taken. As a country, we have very few of these cadres, and that is actually part of the challenge why we cannot readily decentralize the services to the other parts of the country. So Mark, I want to really state that with the help of Mark, we shall be able to realize our aspiration of ensuring that cancer care is decentralized, and not only that, improve the training and research within the country. Of course, we also have the other challenge. I've been saying you cannot strengthen health systems in our countries without the human resources. As Africa, we've had a challenge. We have been training, but not training at the same pace with the population growth. Our population has been growing at a very fast rate. As a country, our fertility rate has been at about 7.3 children in the last 5 years. We've managed to bring this down to about 6 children, but of course this to us is still high. So we need to match the population growth in our countries with the number of doctors. But of course, even as we train the specialists in our countries, we have the other bigger challenge of the human resources for health, the mobility. Most of us lose our very good doctors to the other developed countries because of the challenge of the human, of course, the pay in our countries. But of course, slowly we should be able to deal with this challenge. And I want to state that much as Mark has been supporting us in dealing with this, the NCDs, increasing the workforce, we have also, as a country, been able to scale up the challenge, or speaking about infertility, that was a subject that was never discussed in the public domain. Mark started this journey. I'm happy to have also been part and parcel of this and championed this cause in my country. And with this conversation that we have had, engaging the media, infertility is now a subject that is discussed openly. We have been able for the very first time, actually this month, the President commissioned the first ever state-of-the-art women's hospital that will be providing the in vitro fertilization or assisted reproductive technology services in a public health facility. We've been having fertility care clinics as a country, but these clinics were very expensive, not affordable to the ordinary man. But unfortunately now, the public sector for the very first time will be providing these services. The challenge we have is still the human resources for health. And I want to thank Mark. They have come in to support us, to pay for the specialists who will be helping us to start up these IVF services. So thank you very much, Mark. You have really moved with us in this journey. And of course, I strongly believe that with support from Mark, the next 5 years as Africa, we should be able to see a number of health workforce, the specialists in cancer, and other cardiovascular services increase in our countries. Thank you very much for that support, and the sky is the limit. Thank you.
So from the first country, Merck programs and Merck Foundation entered to the last country we are here, and the country who's hosting us, the Republic of Senegal. And I would like to ask Honorable Abdoulaye Dayouf Sarr about his opinion and his observation regarding the programs we are doing to build the cancer care capacity and also fertility care capacity, since we started already.
Je vous remercie et j'aimerais effectivement, à l'entame de mon propos, remercier l'ensemble des délégations qui ont bien voulu faire le déplacement de Dakar pour assister à cette réunion extrêmement importante de la Fondation Merck qui est effectivement devenu un partenaire très important pour notre système de santé. J'aimerais remercier et féliciter Madame la Présidente pour l'apport substantiel que le Sénégal a reçu de la part de Merck. Présentement, je crois qu'il y a plusieurs spécialistes en gynéco qui sont revenus la semaine dernière de l'Inde pour une formation assez pointue en renforcement de capacité de plusieurs semaines. Et nous nous préparons à envoyer 4 spécialistes en oncologie en Égypte, toujours avec l'apport de la Fondation Merck, qui aujourd'hui est engagée avec le Sénégal dans un processus de formation continue pour nos spécialistes. Et la question de l'oncologie est adressée par Merck et le Sénégal, parce que chez nous, nous savons effectivement que l'incidence et la mortalité due au cancer sont en augmentation dans notre pays. Et Merck nous y accompagne. Nous savons effectivement que le cancer est devenu un véritable phénomène de santé publique. Au plan épidémiologique, les données préliminaires du registre des cancers mis en place dans 10 hôpitaux de Dakar, parce qu'une expérience effectivement a été lancée à ce niveau, ont fait état de 1697 cas de cancer enregistrés. Nous savons aussi par ailleurs qu'en 2012, selon l'Organisation mondiale de la santé, l'incidence du cancer au Sénégal était estimée à 6776 nouveaux cas par an, avec une mortalité d'environ 72%. Au plan du diagnostic, nous savons effectivement qu'un effort extrêmement important doit être fait pour augmenter le nombre de spécialistes. Le chef de l'État lui-même, l'ayant compris au moment de lancer la stratégie nationale de financement de la santé, avait tout de suite décidé une augmentation du double de la bourse qui passe de 150 000 francs CFA à 300 000 francs CFA pour renforcer le nombre de spécialistes dans notre pays. Parce que figurez-vous, si on ne faisait rien, dans 5 ans, nous risquions d'avoir effectivement un système de santé avec très peu de spécialistes. Et de ce point de vue, la question de l'oncologie est adressée en priorité. C'est pourquoi nous avons travaillé avec Merck pour que de manière permanente, qu'on puisse envoyer nos spécialistes et renforcer effectivement leurs capacités dans ce domaine précis. À ce titre, les capacités de prise en charge du cancer dans notre pays seront développées par la construction très prochaine, et je crois qu'à ce niveau-là, tout le financement est bouclé, le dossier technique est fait, d'un centre national d'oncologie à Diamniadio, ici dans le site de Diamniadio, pour prendre en charge le cancer de A à Z dans le cadre de ce que nous avons appelé dans le PSE le Dakar Medical City. Autre élément aussi important, c'est que depuis 2015, la pharmacie nationale d'approvisionnement a mis en place un système de dépôt-vente des produits anticancéreux dans 4 hôpitaux de Dakar. Et dans le budget 2019, que nous avons effectivement présenté à l'Assemblée nationale en commission technique la semaine dernière, il est prévu une subvention de 1 milliard dans le budget pour les médicaments anticancéreux, ce qui aura un impact en termes de réduction du prix de ces médicaments. Vous voyez donc que le travail est fait, extrêmement important, et ce travail-là adresse la cible femme, parce que nous savons aussi que le cancer touche plus la femme, parce que c'est le cancer du sein et le cancer du col de l'utérus qui aujourd'hui donc sont en première en termes d'identification. Et tout à l'heure, le chef de l'État d'ailleurs va lancer l'introduction dans le PV, l'introduction officielle dans le PV du vaccin contre le cancer du col de l'utérus. Ce qui donc sera effectivement une avancée extraordinaire en matière de prévention. Je rappelle que toutes ces interventions citées sont clairement déclinées dans un plan quinquennal de lutte contre le cancer, que nous avons d'ailleurs bien voulu partager avec nos partenaires et particulièrement notre partenaire qui est Merck. Cette intervention quinquennal repose sur la prévention primaire, le développement des ressources humaines, sur lequel Merck est très actif, la détection précoce. Nous venons effectivement de boucler avec Octobre Rose et l'introduction dans le PV du vaccin contre le cancer du col de l'utérus sera effectivement un bon point de bouclage de Octobre Rose. Mais Octobre Rose nous a permis effectivement de beaucoup travailler dans la détection précoce. La prise en charge diagnostique et thérapeutique, la surveillance épidémiologique et la recherche, le suivi et évaluation du plan stratégique. Et aujourd'hui, pour consolider les acquis et poursuivre les efforts consentis dans la lutte contre le cancer, la mobilisation des ressources, surtout domestiques, est fondamentale. Nous avons effectivement des partenaires comme Merck, mais nous sommes conscients que la base effectivement de notre système de santé en termes de développement sera surtout donc soutenue par une mobilisation importante de la ressource domestique. En tout cas, Madame la Présidente, je vous remercie et je vous dis que le partenariat entre le Sénégal et Merck vient de démarrer, mais est véritablement donc extrêmement important pour nous. Dès la semaine prochaine, l'évaluation de la première équipe de gynécos qui ont fait plus d'un mois en Inde sera faite et nous allons vous envoyer le rapport. Je vous remercie beaucoup.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I would like now to give my give my question to Honorable Minister of Health of Niger, Honorable ID Maina Sara, is correct? So, of course, we started also our partnership this year, actually. Started from our meeting when we were in Egypt, and we came for a state visit for Her Excellency, the First Lady and the President of Niger, and we started our commitment and partnership with the Ministry of Health of Niger in March 2018, this year. But since then, we moved very quickly, and we have a lot of candidates who already either enrolled in the training or finished the training in both cancer care and oncology, of course, and fertility and diabetes in French diabetes diploma. So I would like to know your insights about that and share your experience with the countries which are going to join us in a new partnership this year, your experience and your feedback. Thank you.
Merci, Dr Raja. Tout d'abord, permettez-moi de remercier le président directeur général de Merck et de remercier également la fondatrice ou la présidente de la fondation Merck pour cette initiative et mieux pour cette invitation à ce premier anniversaire après le lancement de 2017 en Égypte, qui a connu un succès, mais surtout ce présent événement qui est en train de connaître aussi un autre succès qui se passe en Afrique noire, en Afrique francophone, au Sénégal. Et Merck aujourd'hui est devenu un partenaire incontournable pour nos pays où le taux de morbidité et le taux de mortalité lié au cancer est très élevé. En dehors du cancer, nous avons d'autres thématiques importantes que le problème de l'infertilité. Le problème de l'infertilité, le problème des maladies non transmissibles, comme elle vient de le dire, le diabète, l'hypertension, etc. Le directeur général de Merck et la fondatrice étaient au Niger où ils ont été reçus par les plus hautes autorités du Niger, en particulier par le président de la République du Niger et la présidente de la fondation Gourivi Meilleur que j'ai eu l'honneur d'accompagner ici au Sénégal pour cette conférence. Et je dirais le Niger, qui en tout cas a le taux de fécondité le plus élevé, parce que quand vous prenez, chaque femme a au moins 7 enfants. Mais il y a des femmes qui ont jusqu'à 12-15 enfants. Et généralement, c'est avant l'âge de 40 ans. Malgré ce nombre élevé ou cet important indice de fécondité, il y a des femmes qui n'ont pas d'enfants. Et elles font l'objet de stigmatisation. Elles font en tout cas l'objet vraiment de tous les problèmes sociaux. Et ceci est vraiment une réalité. C'est une réalité parce qu'il y a une étude réalisée en 2015 qui a porté sur les déterminants de la fécondité qui relève que quand même l'enfant est une valeur sociale. Et la femme, en dehors d'autres rôles qu'elle joue, elle joue le rôle de la procréation. Et un enfant qui naît fait l'objet de multiples cérémonies de réjouissance. Mais une femme qui ne donne pas d'enfant, c'est une femme en tout cas qui est indexée dans notre société et africaine. Et l'appui de Merck à travers la fondation Gourivi Meyer, de la première dame du Niger, a permis en tout cas de mettre des jalons dans le cadre de l'amélioration vraiment non seulement de la santé, mais surtout de l'amélioration sur le plan psychologique de ces femmes qui sont stigmatisées. Nous avons un plan de développement sanitaire, la 5e des générations, qui est le dernier, c'est le plan 2017-2021, qui est la déclinaison d'un programme que nous appelons programme de la renaissance du Niger. Dans ce programme, la première priorité, c'est la santé de la reproduction, la santé de la mère et de l'enfant. Et dans ce programme est contenu beaucoup de stratégies pour améliorer la santé de la mère. Et parmi ces stratégies, nous avons un centre national de santé de la reproduction. Et c'est au niveau de ce centre que nous comptons mettre en place un service de procréation médicale assistée. Et lors de leur visite, le président de la fondation Merck et Dr Aja ont eu l'occasion de visiter de ce centre dont pratiquement tous les matériels sont réunis pour accompagner ces femmes, pour accompagner les femmes de façon générale dans le cadre de l'amélioration de leur santé de fertilité. Au-delà de ce centre, en fait là c'est pour vous dire ce que le gouvernement du Niger est en train de faire par rapport à l'amélioration de la santé de la mère. Nous avons une population de 20 millions d'habitants répartis sur 8 régions. Au niveau de chaque région, nous avons un centre dédié, un centre régional dédié à la mère et à l'enfant. Ces centres s'occupent de tout ce qui est problème gynécologique, tout ce qui est problème obstétrical et tout ce qui est problème pédiatrique des enfants. Et au-delà de ce centre, nous allons réceptionner vers le deuxième trimestre 2019 un centre régional de référence en matière de lutte contre le cancer. C'est un centre qui a une envergure en tout cas régionale et ce centre, c'est vraiment du fait du leadership de notre président que ce centre est en train d'avoir lieu avec l'appui de la Banque islamique de développement et l'appui de l'AEA. Presque toutes les infrastructures sont terminées. On est déjà en phase d'acquisition de l'accélérateur linéaire des particules parce que le traitement de cancer comporte plusieurs phases. Déjà, la chimiothérapie du jour a commencé avant, jusqu'en 2015-2016. Pour la chimiothérapie, nous sommes obligés d'évacuer à l'extérieur. Aujourd'hui, au Niger, on fait la chimiothérapie. Et les deux autres aspects, c'est la radiothérapie et l'hormonothérapie qui, en tout cas, d'ici le deuxième trimestre de 2019, seront une réalité au Niger. Il y a eu également le rehaussement de plateaux techniques. Le problème qui se pose aujourd'hui, c'est le renforcement, c'est la disponibilité des compétences. Un pays de 20 millions d'habitants avec moins de 2000 médecins et moins de 200 médecins spécialistes en santé gynéco-obstétricale. Et la coopération avec Merck à travers la fondation Gourou Vie Meilleure aujourd'hui est en train de nous permettre d'envoyer nos médecins spécialistes dont la dernière promotion sont là dans cette salle, ils sont au nombre de 7 en matière de lutte contre le cancer, en matière de l'infertilité, en matière d'embryologie, en matière des autres maladies non transmissibles. Donc c'est vraiment avec joie, avec fierté aujourd'hui que je suis là pour apporter ce témoignage, pour remercier la fondation Merck, pour remercier Merck de façon générale pour tout l'appui qu'ils ont apporté à mon pays, pour tout l'appui qu'ils vont apporter aux autres pays pour faire face à ces problèmes de santé. Parce que on ne peut pas développer un pays sans pour autant améliorer la santé de la mer. Parce que la mer est source de vie, la mer est l'avenir de l'homme, la mer est l'avenir de la société en un mot. Donc vous comprenez aisément la coopération donc, avec Merck, comme je l'ai dit, avec la fondation Gouri a permis d'entreprendre une grande campagne de sensibilisation pour déstigmatiser. Parce que chaque fois qu'il y a un problème d'infertilité, on accuse la femme. Or, des études ont démontré, dans 50, parfois plus de 50%, la cause est ailleurs. La cause est liée à l'homme. Mais devant ce genre de problème, on a toujours préféré envoyer la femme faire son bilan. L'homme se retire, ce qui n'est pas juste. C'est un problème de couple. Il doit se gérer ensemble. Il doit se gérer à deux. On pouvait trouver la solution s'il y a l'implication du mari. Mais malheureusement, le problème est porté à la femme. Il y a l'identification de certaines femmes infertiles. Hier, la première dame du Niger, Dr Racha, l'a dit, et l'appui que Merck a apporté aux femmes infertiles au Niger à travers la création des activités génératrices de revenus, à travers, en tout cas, des moyens qui ont été mis à la disposition de ces femmes pour les accompagner parce qu'elles ont été chassées de leur foyer, elles ont été stigmatisées pour leur permettre d'avoir un abri. Ça, c'est un exemple. Il y a...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Minister.
Donc, vraiment, à résumer, pour vous dire que beaucoup de choses ont été faites, en tout cas, par Merck au Niger, et vraiment, la coopération est excellente, la coopération est meilleure, et nous souhaitons que cette coopération vraiment continue.
Thank you. I really appreciate very much this partnership and the passion about cooperating to build this capacity, and we confirm and underscore our commitment to train all the doctors who will be in these new centers. Now I would like to give my question, and of course, since the time limit, we will have 3 minutes only for each answer, unfortunately, because we have to get ready for the President's speech. So my second question will go to Dr. Bir Somse, Honorable Minister of Central African Republic. And the same question goes to you, which I already asked Honorable Minister of Health of Niger about our cooperation with the First Lady Brigitte Touadéra, the First Lady of Central African Republic since 2015, and the cooperation with the Ministry of Health in 3 minutes.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Racha. Tout d'abord, très rapidement, grand merci au peuple sénégalais et à son gouvernement, à mon frère, M. Sarr, le ministre de la Santé, pour avoir hébergé cette importante conférence qui est critique. Et cette rencontre vient à un moment, un tournant décisif dans notre effort de revitaliser le système de santé dans la perspective de la couverture universelle en 2030. Je dois déjà dire, pour répondre directement, la coopération entre la première dame de Centrafrique et Merck est un événement qui a créé un déclic et un mouvement en République centrafricaine. Cette coopération est encore à ses débuts, mais cette coopération a déjà marqué l'esprit des Centrafricains et est en train de transformer le paysage de la santé et surtout la santé de la mère. La première dame est reconnue dans le pays comme vraiment la plus grande avocate des femmes qui souffrent d'infertilité et de discrimination. Elle a lancé une grande campagne grâce à sa coopération avec Merck et aujourd'hui cette question est maintenant traitée ouvertement. Ça c'est déjà un grand progrès qui crée donc les conditions pour le développement de cette coopération et nous nous réjouissons que Racha et nos leaders de Merck vont visiter bientôt. Ils sont très attendus par le couple présidentiel pour que nous puissions formuler le contenu de cette coopération qui a déjà commencé. Et très rapidement, tous les problèmes que cette coopération aborde au niveau africain se retrouvent en Centrafrique, dans un contexte de crise où le système de santé a été complètement dévasté. Donc le partenariat avec Merck pour nous en Centrafrique arrive à un point, à un tournant et vient combler un besoin qui est vital. Vital en termes de formation, parce qu'on connaît une crise de spécialistes, et vital en termes de santé de la mère. Alors juste très rapidement, la santé de la mère c'est le miroir de la santé, comme on vient de le dire. Le taux de mortalité maternelle en Centrafrique est le deuxième le plus élevé du monde aujourd'hui. Ce qui en fait la priorité du président de la République. Et vous comprendrez que pour nous, cette coopération s'inscrit dans cette perspective et donc c'est une coopération qui est vitale.
Thank you very
merci
much.
beaucoup.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you very much. So my next question will go to Honorable Dr. Isatou Touré, the Minister of Health and Social Welfare of the Gambia, and of course also underscoring our partnership which started in Cairo last year, and with my visit to Her Excellency the First Lady and our partner, the First Lady of Gambia, Fatoumata Bahbarou, and the training we provided from February since our visit till today, and the continuation for the next 10 years. In 3 minutes also.
Good morning, Your Excellency, and my honorable ministers on the stage and everybody present here today. I am honored to be here on behalf of the First Lady of the Gambia, Madam Fatoumata Bahbarou, and also on behalf of my Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and the entire staff that I have come with those that have actually benefited from the MEC philanthropy as well as support of this champion, Razak, for making things happen in the Gambia. I cannot speak about this without making them stand up and be recognized and to show Mark the results of last year's engagement. Please, the Gambian delegation, can I have you stand up to be recognized? Please. Other students are here that have already, that are going to benefit after this luminary in November. This partnership started with the launch of the Mark Foundation, where the delegation of the First Lady, Madam Fatoumata Bahbarou, went to Egypt in February 2017 and hosted by Mark, CEO, and it was launched. And they developed a long-term partnership between the two countries regarding the building capacity in the field of diabetes, cancer, and fertility care for the next 10 years. And since the return of the First Lady in the Gambia, she has really been a big champion. She has created a phenomenal awareness about these non-communicable diseases, diseases that people took for granted and were very ignorant about. She also influenced the hospital to take a lead role, and the Chief Medical Director of the hospital today, of the teaching hospital, is here to be with us. Through this initiative, the CEO of MAC came, and in Sanyang 2018, this was launched, and I want to tell you that this is a great, great, great initiative that is actually going as a wild wind across the country to create awareness among women. The gender dimension, which is being mentioned here since yesterday, I think is very key if we're going to be strategic in addressing this issue that is affecting the whole world. The other thing I wanted to raise here is that building cancer care capacity is very key for the Gambia, for the fact that we are emerging from a very difficult situation where institutions have failed, where institutions are weak, particularly the health system. The coming of MAC and the engagement of the CEO with the First Lady, I think, portends a great potential for the Gambia. The situation in the Gambia with regards to cancer, you have liver, cervical, and breast cancer, and other forms of cancer, and they are the leading killer is the cervical cancer for women as well as breast cancer, while liver cancer is one of the highest. And there is an age disparity between 30 to 45 years prevalence, and there are hardly any support base for those people because we do not have oncologists. We have 1 or 2 cardiologists who are overburdened and who cannot do everything. We do not have cancer centers, and services are therefore not available. And most of the time, we come to Senegal, and it is very, very, very expensive when our patients come to Senegal to get at least some diagnosis to be done. Even simple needles are not available. We do not have paramedics, and we need training, and therefore, I think if we are going to really address this issue in the Gambia, the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital's capacity needs to be boosted in terms of sustaining the initiative and to address the social issue, and there needs to be a social mobilization and consciousness raising is key in using culturally relevant strategies which the First Lady and the healthcare system, as well as other media personnel who have been trained by MAC, are doing very well. So in that regard, we are going to continue to work constructively with MAC, and we have been given the assurance and to say right from the beginning, we are with MAC and we appreciate your support.
Thank you very, very much,
hope to continue with you.
Minister.
Thank you very much.
And we guarantee our continuation in partnership for the next for the next 10 years at least. So the second next question will go to Honorable Minister of Health of Chad, and his Honorable Aziz Salah Ahmed is here. Yes. So the same question also, because also we started our partnership in April 2017, which was also started in Egypt last year with Her Excellency, the First Lady of Chad, Madame Henda, and would like to also give us enlightening in 3 minutes about our training and our programs. In 3 minutes.
Remercier pour cet engagement que vous avez rappelé en Égypte, qui a commencé. Et déjà le lancement qu'on a fait aussi en avril, lorsque vous étiez venu dans le cadre de ce partenariat qui est déjà actif, même s'il n'a que 1 an. L'avantage, c'est qu'on apprend déjà des expériences des autres pays pour essayer d'avancer plus rapidement. Nous avons aussi bénéficié d'un certain nombre de prises en charge de formation de médecins en oncologie et également au niveau de la fertilité, il y a un certain nombre de femmes qui sont prises en charge par nos médecins tchadiens. Et c'est quelque chose qui est appréciable. Je voudrais juste, comme le délai est très court, dire que l'objectif et le souhait du Tchad, qui a les mêmes similitudes que le Niger, c'est d'essayer de faire avancer par rapport à un certain nombre de pays qui ont des expériences. Et donc on insiste sur ce partage d'expériences. Il y a des pays qui ont commencé depuis 2012 votre partenariat. Je pense qu'il faut qu'on crée des dispositifs interafricains dans le cadre de la gestion de ces problématiques qui puissent pouvoir échanger et que des centres de référence se créent en Afrique dans le cadre de la formation et dans le cadre des questions de prise en charge. Et je crois que s'il y a ce plaidoyer, c'est peut-être celui-là qu'on peut lancer pour la Fondation et la féliciter et la remercier pour l'engagement pour le Tchad mais également pour tous les pays africains. Thank you very much. Merci.
So my next question will go to Minister of Health of the Republic of Botswana. And of course, I think, of course, Honorable Dr. Alfred Madigili And of course, we are starting our partnership, new partnership, from today, or from this conference, with the Ministry of Health of Botswana and with the First Lady Office of Botswana and her foundation to build healthcare capacity in cancer, diabetes, and fertility. I would like to know your views and how can we will take this forward. Of course, we have our meeting in 1st of November or tomorrow or today to discuss more details, but I would like to give us in 3 minutes your views about what you have seen and what you anticipate to do based on the experience and the knowledge you exchange with others.
We have an emerging problem of cancer like other developing and developed countries. The risk factor profile there is a rich breeding ground for cancer as a problem. We have life expectancy is increasing. More and more HIV patients are surviving longer years. We have lifestyle problems of obesity and other ailments. So the breeding ground for cancer is quite rich and abundant. As I've been observing all these past 2-3 days, I think your coming in as the MEC Foundation will help augment government's efforts in fighting the scourge of cancer. In Botswana, we have a working document, the National Multisectoral NCD Strategy, of which cancer is part of that intervention. And we have started, especially with cervical cancer, to have a whole range of interventions along the continuum of care. We are yet to start with breast cancer, and I think one of the big problems there is human resources for health. So you're coming in terms of development and training of specialists, oncologists, will go a long way in helping us to drive our agenda. In terms of fertility, we still are at the primordial stage of tackling this problem. I think like in other African states, this topic has been a bit of a taboo in many communities, in that it's underreported and interventions are under-resourced. So you're coming in with interventions like training of embryologists and other fertility specialists will also help us to tackle this problem. We are yet to develop a proper legislative framework for ART, and we believe that MEC Foundation will help us to develop capacity in tackling issues relating to infertility.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you. And my next question goes to the Minister of Health and Sanitation of Republic of Sierra Leone, Honorable Dr. Alpha Weri. And of course, as yesterday was a big day, and we are starting also our partnership with Sierra Leone Ministry of Health and the First Lady of Sierra Leone, and actually start the commitment yesterday from many organizations and ours included. So we'd like to know your also feedback in 3 minutes.
Let me thank you indeed for inviting Sierra Leone to the very first meeting of MARC. And yesterday you heard the passionate plea of the First Lady. Maybe what I will do is to give you a background of why we are at this position where we are. You know, Sierra Leone is blessed with a lot of minerals. And in 1991, one would expect that minerals would benefit the people. Instead, we had a war that was not civil, that was not tribal, but one that exactly was for mineral resources. With wars, you have mass exodus of people, but more importantly, the skilled personnel of your country, teachers, doctors, and the nursing cadre left our shores. In 2014, after we started rebuilding both infrastructure and human capacity, we had the Ebola scourge. A large number of our medical personnel were lost to that disease. Maybe what I want to highlight here is the condition that trauma sets. Trauma sets the condition for high use of alcohol, high use of tobacco, unhealthy diet, lack of physical exercise. All the conditions that ensure non-communicable diseases comes on the high, including cancer. So, what have we been doing? We have tried to ensure that never again would we be exposed to a scourge of infectious diseases, and have developed a major cadre of field epidemiologists. But the gap exists with regards to clinical personnel. We are therefore very happy, very pleased that we had from Cairo University, Egypt, and Tata Foundation, India, through Mark Foundation, that you will be ready to improve the capacity, the human capacity that we so dearly need. With regards to infertility, please, I think they deserve a very big hand for that offer they have given to people of Africa. Tata Foundation and indeed Cairo University of Egypt. With regards to women, dignity and development, of which infertility could be put into that, we would like to pass on to Africa that free, quality, compulsory education has to be the base. Sierra Leone has launched that, and within that program, we are also doing comprehensive adolescent family life education. That family life education would involve sexual, would involve contraceptive use, and indeed would involve infertility training. In that regard, we have a Dr. Conte here, if he's here. Dr. Conte is the very first. Dr. Conte is on that side, is the very first individual trained by Mark in infertility issues. And we'll
he's the first fertility specialist in the country.
That is, we are now starting to put the specialist in Sierra Leone, and we do hope we can expand that considerably. I thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Honorable Minister. And now my next question go to Honorable Giulietta Cavatuno, the Deputy Minister of Health and Social Services of Republic of Namibia. Of course, we started our partnership 2 years ago. We already done a lot of milestones in Namibia. I would like you to talk about.
Thank you very much. I would like to express our gratitude to Make Foundation as a country for the unwavering support that they have rendered to us, especially Dr. Rasha and Dr. Homotso, who have been really constantly on our case in terms of providing us with assistance that we needed. As you have heard that we started our cooperation 2 years ago, we already benefited big time. In terms of training, we sent 2 doctors for oncology training, and we have identified some who will be joining the training in training, and also the diabetes training online that will start soon also. So we are very, very grateful for that. In terms of cancer, I think the First Lady of Sierra Leone have mentioned real deep things that an open book to the healthcare system in Africa, especially when she mentioned the lack of trained human resources, the lack of facilities for cancer care, lack of medication and other things that is needed. It's the same situation all over, and I would like to attest that Namibia is no exemption. But what I would like to emphasize is that when we are having programs, we should catch the low-hanging fruit and capitalize on those low-hanging fruits. In terms of infertility, it's a very new concept to many of us in Africa in terms of addressing the issues of infertility. Nobody sees infertility as a healthcare problem. And thus, our approaches towards this have to be very diverse, it has to be very proactive and very innovative. I would like to thank Merck that we really train embryologists and infertility doctors. But I think the bottom line is that we need to start with the easier things that we can do, and it's awareness creation. So when we start with awareness creation, create multiple ways in order to make sure that people will start seeing this one as a health condition. Because when you talk about IVF, that is the extreme. Let us start with the low-hanging fruits, and that is awareness creation, mobilization, screening, and educating people on issues of infertility. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you.
2 billion people don't have access to medicine, but 5 billion people have access to medicine. So we know how to do it. The world knows that to reach these 5 billion. So what about the 2 billion to go? 2 billion to go, I would say. Well, since 10 years now, we have an access to medicine index who analyzes the role of the pharmaceutical industry. We compare pharmaceutical companies with each other, how they treat the issue, the challenge of the fact that 2 billion people, mostly in your countries, still don't have access to medicine. What is their role? Well, today you see what is happening here. I am definitely fascinated by being here, and I'm glad I accepted the invitation of Dr. Rasha Keeley. We measure patents. How do they deal with patents? Do they do research and development in your countries? Do pharmaceutical companies price their products reasonable in your countries, and do they have different pricing models? How do they deal with donations in case of emergency situations? It's a hell of a project, and it's in cooperation with the World Health Organization, governments, NGOs, and investors. It's only possible, we can only do something if we agree, if we make a consensus what we want. And that's my advice I will give to you. If you want something, make a consensus, agree on it, and just ask it. It's possible. That's why the model of the Access to Medicine Index is indeed so successful that the United Nations and some investors have decided to do this also for other sectors, to better reach the Sustainable Development Goals with the help of the private sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Owen. It's a great honor to have you here with us. I would like to invite now my colleague, Mr. Paulo Carli, the head of Africa of Merck. And the reason I want to invite him to talk about is to indicate to you that Merck vision to improve access to health and to build capacity and to help countries has nothing to do with relationship with making profit or commercial entity. Although we are an industry and we are a pharmaceutical company, and Paulo is representing the commercial arm, I represent the non-for-profit arm, but he has no influence on where we go, or the commercial, even the commercial part or profit decisions has no relation. We have programs in countries we know we never have business in, at all. It may be for the next 500 years. But it's nothing to do with business or making business, and I want him to indicate that and explain that to you.
It's interesting that also the CEO of the Merck Access to Medicine Index is here, because Merck has grown significantly in the ranking of access to medicine. So we want to provide affordable and equitable medications to all of you. Today we were discussing about fertility and oncology, and I think what Russia is doing is simply phenomenal, because she is increasing the capabilities of your doctors, of the healthcare system, to effectively treat infertility and effectively treat cancer. And we can provide this affordable medication because infertility is something that can be treated. We can really help couples to have kids. And we're willing to help. We're willing to help. Russia is doing it on the one side. We want to do it on the other side. And it's the same is true for cancer. And maybe I appeal to my honorable colleagues here to maybe allow us as well to have a better access to the countries through maybe faster or more reliable registrations of our drugs, faster access to the territories and so on, which is something that I think as an industry we still need to carry on further and further. But as I said, Rasha, I think now up to you. Thank you for the invitation, and I think you're doing a phenomenal job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I think now we conclude our panel. I think everyone has speak. Did I miss anyone? No. It's okay. So thank you very much, and we conclude our first panel, and we thank all the panelists for their views and feedback and a very prestigious discussion. I think Minister Sarah wants to say one word before she leaves.
One word that I want to say, of course, I want to acknowledge the WHO country representative here, and to really state that, of course, we've been talking about cancer and talking about fertility, but Mark has been providing drugs for us to deal with the neglected tropical diseases. And Uganda, of course, has been having this challenge of the bilharzia, with getting drugs through WHO, but also to indicate to you, the one message that I want to state is that Mark has brought this subject of infertility on the table of all African countries. None of us was speaking about infertility in the public. It has been a matter for individuals, for couples. And allow me to state that for the very first time, through my initiative with WHO, pushing WHO to bring this matter, we talk about reproductive health, but reproductive health talking about contraception and so on, and neglecting infertility. For the very first time, we had a ministerial session here in this very country in August, discussing about infertility for the very first time at the WHO meeting. We want to appreciate Mark for that, because this would not have been possible. And of course, as countries, let us continue with this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a great milestone. Thank you.